As the late afternoon sun starts to sink beneath the New Orleans skyline, fans are filing into Lieutenant General Russell L. Honore Stadium in hopes that their New Orleans Pharoahs will be able to turn their inaugural SFL campaign around as they sit at 2-4. But all hope is not lost as they're only a game and a half back of second place in the Southern Conference. Tonight, the San Francisco Sharks come to town, and while they have an identical 2-4 record, the Sharks' playoff dreams seem a little far away as Rob Roby and companies have struggled with a stacked Western Conference this season. Two teams hoping that tonight will be the start of a second-half turnaround clash tonight in the Big Easy as their SFL Sunday slate rolls on YouTube. Welcome, everybody. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Michael Truilo, joined in the booth today by Levant, Mercer. Levant, good evening to you.
Good evening to you. How are you?
I'm very well. Looking forward to a great SFL clash. We're down to the field for the coin toss, and the Pharoahs will receive the opening kickoff. As the kicker for San Francisco, Rositarian Sloan, has the ball on the tee. Leroy Brown back deep to receive for the Pharoahs. The hands in the air, the whistle goes, and it's game on here from the Big Easy on a Sunday late afternoon, a beautiful late afternoon here in New Orleans. A flag comes down on the opening kickoff as it is returned. And we'll see what the flag is.
It's that infamous clipping call that's been plaguing the league.
The infamous clipping call right off the bat goes against New Orleans. And we'll get you down to the field in just a moment. Now we're back to live. Let's run you through the New Orleans offense. The quarterback is Xander Gold, the #1 overall pick in the draft this year. The running back is Donk Bonkers. The wide receivers are Leroy Brown, Matt Wolf, Ermac Jackson, and the tight end is Brock Lee. As Gold starts under center, 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side, floats it over the middle and complete on first down. Matt Wolf picks up his first catch of the day. Here's the San Francisco defense. The safeties are Barry Barkley and Cristiano Torres. The corner is Dean Maddox and Camden Hoffman. The linebacker is Chad Guy. And the defensive end is Abner St. John. 2nd down and 1 after the gain of 9 at the 22-yard line of New Orleans. Just under half a minute played here is, Donk Bonkers is stopped in the backfield for a loss of 2. Got some keys to the game for you for New Orleans on offense. You got to pressure well with the running game. They didn't do that well on the last play. You got to make Gold comfortable. It's been a tough rookie season for him, but this time he floats it out to the far side. That pass is caught at a first down for New Orleans up to the 34-yard line as Matt Wolf reels in his second catch in 3 plays. First down, Pharoahs.
That connection looks to be something that New Orleans has missed so far this season. They're in the bottom half of the league, and third down conversions of 37%. That's raised it up a little bit.
Gold under center, 3 right outs, 2 right, single left. Gold stands in the pocket, delivers a strike over the middle of the field. That pass is caught right down the seam to Brock Lee, the tight end. Makes his first catch of the day. For San Francisco on defense, they got to really try and make New Orleans rely on the pass. Got to shut down Donk Bonkers in the backfield because he can take over games all by himself. Offset eye on 2nd down and 2. Here's Bonkers, and they've done well so far as Bonkers has gone -4 yards on 2 carries so far.
And they're going to need to continue that if San Francisco wants to be in this game, especially because New Orleans knows how to run the ball. They've only probably started finding out how to pass on this drive, but they will always know how to run the ball.
I formation, 3rd and 4. They're going to look with 3 wides again. New Orleans in the gold helmets, purple jerseys, gold pants, and Matt Wolf has another first down completion to the near side, taps the toes, and gets out at the 45-yard line.
been having a rather quiet year up to this point, but Wolf is probably their most targeted receiver, and he's showing why right there.
A bit opposite of what we expected to see from the offense on the first drive with Xander Gold. Perfect completion percentage so far. He's back to pass again on first down. He finds Donk Bonkers out of the backfield with some room to run, and the stretch play gets him a first down. 13 yards up to the 43.
Well, sometimes you got to prepare for the unexpected. It doesn't seem like San Francisco's done that. Incorporating Donk Bonkers here on the passing play here, getting him out to the outside on the flat. You know, when you have a running back of this talent who can both run and catch the ball, you know you're going to be in for a long day if you don't know how to stop it.
I mean, if you're not getting anywhere up the middle, try and stretch the field. Bonkers has great speed. He's one of the best in the SFL at achieving that breakaway speed right out of the gate. We saw it there on that long first down run. Heavy set on 1st and 10 from over the 50 to the 43-yard line into Sharks territory. Gold finds Bonkers out of the backfield again, and Donk Bonkers gets another first down. Barry Barkley came up to make the tackle from the safety spot, but not after the ball had moved past the marker. And New Orleans has an impressive first drive going here early.
When you swing it to the left, you swing it to the right this time, but you just find a whole bunch of open space there. They might be in for a big one if they keep pressuring that defense like they have on this drive.
And something we were talking about before the broadcast, Levant, is New Orleans' offense has been much maligned this season. They've really got to score quickly and score often if they're going to have a chance in this game and going forward, as Donk Bonkers continues to struggle up the middle. He's now lost 5 yards on 3 runs.
It's very interesting to see that San Francisco has done well on stopping the run, something that they've also struggled with this season, but they're just getting blown up in the pass so far. But you know, the secondary core is young. It got better over the past couple of weeks, but they need to tighten up here.
Big tackle to the last play by Abner St. John. As Gold's back to pass, pumps, now under pressure, he throws down the middle. What a strike inside the 10 and down to the 7. Fantastic catch, that time by Ermac Jackson, his first of the game. Wow.
Xander Gold here with the Midas touch, just getting it over the heads of everyone and into his receiver's hands. Wonderful play.
Right over the hands of Dean Maddox, who didn't play that coverage very bad at all. But it was a fantastic throw by Gold, who's proving why he's been the #1 pick in the draft in the first drive in this one. From inside the SFL, presented by APM Music Red Zone, they're going to go to Donk Bonkers, and the pass was a little bit too far in front of him. That actually was the fullback, Brock Cartwright, out of the backfield, who couldn't turn upfield, got 1 yard, 2nd down and goal.
And sometimes you can tell the difference in just pure receiving ability there. I think the pass was leading him out of the sideline, and he just pulled himself in because he just couldn't grab it well. He just couldn't see it.
2nd and goal from the 6. San Francisco has looked lost against the passing attack from Xander Gold so far. This time they're going to swing it out and find Donk Bonkers. He's going to look to push through the pile and get to the end zone, but he's not going to get there. He's going to get 3 yards up to the 3-yard line. 3rd down and goal coming up.
A very common and sometimes valid complaint is that teams like going down to the checkdowns a lot in this league, but over the past couple of weeks we've seen plays like that actually work, and it seems to have been really effective on this drive.
3rd down and goal from inside the 5. What do they do here? Gold gonna trust his arm, go into the back of the end zone. It's picked off. A fantastic drive by New Orleans comes to nothing as Camden Hoffman picks it off in the back of the end zone.
This is just exactly what you're supposed to do if you're a defensive player. You know, you get in his back pocket, you pop up right in front of him like a ghost in the night, a thief in the night, and just steal the ball right there. Great job by Cameron Hoffman there.
The seas look to be calm for New Orleans, and then right at the end, the Shark reared its head in the back of the end zone for the interception, and now Rob Roby goes to work for the Sharks. Pass over the middle, into coverage, complete, and a 20-yard pickup on 1st down. Matt Burnham, the tight end, he got more yards on that play than he had all last week.
This is why they should be going to him here, though. Right over the seam, he saw the coverage break down in front of him, and he knew exactly where to go.
Sharks offense, quarterback Rob Roby, running back Ogunzulu, wide receivers Mickey Martino and Gabriel Manning. Tight end is Matt Burnham, who just made that catch. And here's the handoff to Zulu, and he's going backwards again. Neither running back is finding any holes so far. Great penetration to make the tackle by Coleman Fletcher.
I think both teams understand their strengths and weaknesses here, and New Orleans understands the strength, or the main strength of the San Francisco Sharks offense is if they can get Zulu going. If he can't get going, it's all up to Roby.
Well, they're going to try Zulu again and again. Oh, he bounces off a tackle in the backfield and only gets about 3 yards up to the 40-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 9 as the Sharks in their black helmets, white jerseys, black pants with light blue trim working left to right here in this first quarter. And it might be up to Roby now on 3rd and 9 to trust his arm. He's got 2 receivers to each side and an empty backfield. New Orleans, late blitz coming, and they find the open zone in the middle of the field for a 1st down up towards midfield. They're going to mark him just short at the 49-yard line. Tommy Gunn held in that grab.
And that right there was just beautiful poise in the pocket there by Roby. He's just shown to to be real calm in pressure situations like that, trusting his other receiver there in Gunn.
So both teams have had efficient first drives so far and everywhere except the run, but Zulu's going to try it again and finally get positive yardage. Grabs 2 yards off the left side. That time brought down by Curtis Compton.
We're seeing a lot of unheralded names so far making big plays, but every team has these guys, and they're a key component to every team.
There are 11 guys on the field. Every one of them is capable of making a big play on every snap. And Roby is back in the shotgun. He's going to move, and he's going to jump pass it over the middle, and it's in and out of the hands of Gabriel Manning. What an awkward pass. It looked like a broken play there.
Yeah, Springs caught him sprung there, right there on that play, as we just saw. When he got the pressure to the quarterback got some new dance moves and tried to just jive it up there and just couldn't make the play. What an awkward play that was.
Second straight 3rd down and long coming up for the Sharks. Roby under center, short drop. Good pocket for him, and he fires it right over the middle of the field, and Aaron Arrington almost had a pick.
You know, you almost expected the Hall of Famer to just come down with the ball there. You know, sometimes we take things like that from granted. No matter what your skill level is, sometimes even the best of us can drop the ball like that. But hey, props to him to still making that play, though.
Aaron Arrington, the player coach on this team, at the corner position as the punt is away from Chris Kicks. Returned from the 10-yard line up to the 17 by Arrington, who's doing the kick return duties today for New Orleans. And the Pharaohs will get their second drive underway. We've seen both teams have a drive. Levant, anything other than early jitters responsible for the 2 mistakes on offense?
I feel like that's just been their usual rhythm this season. You're just seeing them doing what they have done, and they just need to snap out of it for once.
I formation on 1st down by the Pharaohs. Good pocket for Gold. He's going deep over the middle. Behind the defense, it's caught. And in a foot race up past the 50, down at the 43-yard line. Great catch by Leroy Brown. What a way to make your first grab of the game.
Look at him here, just getting that extreme acceleration with that, elite separation skill he has. This is why Xander Gold was like the top pick in the draft. You see him with the just wonderfully aim throw there, precise. Great play all around.
And now immediately up into plus territory at the 43-yard line. Gold under center, 3 receivers. He's got a clean pocket, goes over the middle. That pass is caught 9-yard gain by Brock Lee, his second grab. Sets him up in an easy 2nd and 1.
So to go back to your earlier point about, early jitters, is I just think for both of these quarterbacks, especially, they're still rookies. They're going to make great plays, and then they're going to make boneheaded ones. That's just the way it goes for quarterbacks so young.
2nd down and 1. We may see a run attempt here, and here goes Donk Bunkers with a spin move, and he's got a block, and he could go. Breakaway speed, put it on the board. New Orleans touchdown. And the sleepy goes in the end zone.
And he deserves that rest. Let's see how he earned it here. Look at this play. Just absolute breakaway speed, spins, and is off to the races, just gone. Nothing you can do about it. Just put it on the board, get your points, and let's keep this game going.
Touchdown in the first quarter with 1:32 to go. And that was Donk Bonkers' first run of positive yards in the game. And that's the way to make a first impression. As Zen Lee is on to make the extra point. And it's up and good. 1:32 to go in the first. New Orleans 7, San Francisco nothing. This is the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube. Stay with us. And that's the spark, really, Levant, that New Orleans needed. An early score. Their offense is clicking well here. Do you really think that Rob Roby and the San Francisco offense have to respond here, or this could get out of hand?
That's honestly the case with both teams. Key to the game that you've mentioned for New Orleans was that they have to score early and in a hurry. Well, the same thing goes for the Sharks. Both teams, when they score early, have a better chance of winning their respective games, and it's been proven this season. And for San Francisco, they're going to have to come back quickly because it's just been the case for them.
Their first offensive drive stalled out at around midfield. Roby will take control of the ball at his own 27-yard line. 1:28 to go in the first quarter. He'll fire this one out to the far side on first down, and Gabriel Manning will pick up 4 yards. And they've really got to utilize Gabriel Manning more here. He is their feature receiver.
The captain of that receiving corps has been mentoring young Mickey Martino on the other wing. He's been a key fodder figure for that offense.
Just a single receiver each side, and Roby pumps, now looks near side. That pass is caught as it was floated beautifully up over the hands of the defender. And Mickey Martino couldn't get the first down, but it's 3rd down and an easy 1 coming up here with 52 seconds to go first quarter.
I just feel like that's just the rookie-to-rookie jitters there, right? And I feel like Martino could have just gotten an extra step and should have gotten the first down by his lonesome and just couldn't see where he was on the field.
Gonna throw on 3rd and 1. Roby firing over the middle, picked off! It was off the back of the intended receiver, and this time Aaron Arrington has his interception after he dropped one on the previous possession.
Well, these are the kind of things.
I was wrong. That was Gary Bertier, the newly promoted linebacker, playing in his first SFL game. His first contribution is an interception. What a way to start a career. I misattributed that to Aaron Arrington. So I'll let you analyze that interception a little bit more after this play, as we've got trips right, single left, and Gold going over the middle. He almost had it picked right straight back as it was intended for Leroy Brown.
Well, that's a tale of two separate types of plays here. Here, Chad Guy just, gets in the way of the pass, but just doesn't have his hands up. Just look at it again. He's in the vicinity. Probably doesn't even know where he is because he didn't even see the ball. Now, on the play before, where Bertier actually had a ball deflect off a player's back, was able to track the ball and put it in his hands. I mean, that's the difference sometimes in the game.
we've seen some crazy deflections today in the SFL as 2nd and 10 from the 42-yard line. Gold looking near side, one-handed grab for 3 yards. That time hauled in by Matt Wolf. And I can't say enough about Berthier, you know, basically given a gift as that ball fell right in his lap. But having the presence of mind to come down with the catch.
You have to definitely have the presence of mind to actually come down with it. As we just saw, a guy didn't even know where the ball was. Both types of plays happen, but you got to make them when you see them.
15 seconds left in the quarter. 5 wide, over the middle, caught in traffic. First down, New Orleans inside the 25-yard line. That'll end the first quarter. Big pickup there by the Pharaohs. That was Jaquez Lynch. First time we've called his name tonight, making a big catch over the middle.
And that just seems to be the case for both teams so far, is that they're getting a lot of success down the middle of the field.
That's the end of the first quarter. New Orleans 7, San Francisco nothing. You're watching the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube. Stay with us. Michael Truilo, Levant, Mercer back here in New Orleans as we start the second quarter. The Pharaohs driving after an interception at the end of the first, and another strike over the middle by Gold, complete. And this time Leroy Brown has another catch, and they've usually, well, so far today, New Orleans has been using that slant with great consistency.
That's just a very, high accuracy type of pass. It tends to convert itself. If you know what you're doing, you wait until your receiver gets just right past the coverage, it just throw it in that.
Handoff bonkers, and he's not going to repeat what he did on the last drive. He ran for a touchdown. This time he stopped right at the line of scrimmage, 3rd down and 1. Coming up from the 14-yard line. They're in the SFL presented by APM Music Red Zone.
So as I was saying, it's just right as they get that 1 or 2 yards of separation is when you should throw the ball.
They're going to go with this 4 wide, 2 to each side formation again. They're going to run it with bonkers, and he got to the first down inside the 10. Big, hard running there for 5 yards, and he does what he needs to do, move the chains, and get him a chance at a 1st and goal.
And this so far has been the key for New Orleans. It's just their running games have been more effective than San Francisco so far, and they're going to need to press the advantage.
3rd trip inside the 10 for New Orleans. They scored on the 2nd time. They threw an interception on the 1st time, and Gold will go out to Bonkers, and Bonkers will be hit right at the line of scrimmage, fall forward and gain 2 yards. 2nd down and goal coming up.
This is when it gets precarious when you're down in the red zone like this. The field shrinks. The amount of plays that you can actually call in this half of the field shrinks just as well. Gold has to really mind his P's and Q's here.
2nd and goal. Gold stands in the pocket, goes to the far side. That pass is complete to Brown, and he's going to be forced out of bounds before he can get to the end zone. 3rd down and goal coming up from the 3.
So I'm starting to see the strategy they're going with. They're trying to just keep the ball actually out of the end zone so that their players can drive it in. At this point, 3rd and goal, you're going to have to throw one in there.
As we see Leroy Brown on the sidelines after making that catch, not a part of this setup, but there are 3 receivers in an I formation. Behind Gold under center. He'll change the play at the line. Gold stands in the pocket, throws to the end zone. Did he catch that? Yes, he did. Put it on the board. Fantastic catch by Ermac Jackson. Touchdown, New Orleans.
And how sweet it is to have your 2nd contribution of the day be in the red zone. Look at this catch right here. Just stays in bounds. Just wonderful wonderful presence of mind to drag his toes and keep himself in bounds. Just a wonderful play by Ermac Jackson there.
That might be the catch of the day. And this is a day that included a ridiculous bounce catch in the St. Louis game earlier today.
Well, surely a candidate for sure.
diving catch in the back of the end zone for a touchdown. As Zen Lee puts the extra point up and through. 8:40 to go, second quarter. New Orleans has jumped out to a 14-0 lead on San Francisco. This is the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube. Stay with us. And Levant, this is a cascade. Even though the score is only 14-0, it's been all New Orleans so far.
That might be true, but there's a lot of football left to play. And I know that deep down these Sharks have a lot of fight in them. So don't call it over till it is.
They're going to have to start at the 30-yard line as Gabriel Manning returns that far, and Rob Roby's going to have to go back to work. And what combination of Roby, Zulu, and the wide receivers do you think the Sharks are going to have to find for them to be effective here?
Well, now down 14, you're going to have to go Roby for a little bit longer until you can open the running lanes.
As shown by this empty set formation with 4 receivers on first down, Roby stands in, sidearms over the middle. That pass is complete for 9 yards right down the seam. Big catch by Matt Burnham. He's been the go-to man out of the tight end slot so far for San Francisco.
Burnham and Manning both have been with this team since last season, a team that's had a lot of overhaul over the past 2 seasons, but they show their presence and their leadership with every play they make.
Here's Ogun Zulu off the left side, first down. He only needed a yard and he got 2. Heath McDaniel, the second, made the tackle, sliding over from the linebacker's spot. And in an offense that could be as dynamic as San Francisco, the linebackers for New Orleans, Gary Bertier and Heath McDaniel, really have to be on their toes because they've got to defend both the run and the pass. 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line of San Francisco, going right to left in the white, black, and blue, and wide open on the far side is Martino, and he makes a spin move and keeps going down the sideline, past the 50 and all the way to the New Orleans 38 before he's finally bumped out of bounds.
But they're just plays they just can't get to, and if you're not involved in them, you know who is? Martino on this play right here. What? Look at that spin cycle right there. Put him out to wash, hang him out to dry.
And if he hadn't tripped on the prone Brian Mills, who was just sort of laying there on the ground, he might have been gone down the sideline. But anyway, into New Orleans territory go the Sharks. 1st and 10 from the 38. Roby from the gun fires near side. That pass is complete to Manning, and Manning got 12 yards and a first down to the 26.
I'm going to go back to McDaniel and Bertier. Daniel has to mentor Bertier being new. You know, McDaniel's been in this league quite some time. You know, you have to get that veteran rookie dynamic going.
Handoff, Zulu hit and drop behind the line. And how about McDaniel leading by example to make the tackle that time?
And those are just things you're going to have to do to show your upstart how to play in this league. You know, it's not always about the flashy plays. Sometimes just a simple tackle for loss like that can show wonders.
Loss of 1, 2nd and 11. Roby alone in the shotgun. 5 receivers. There goes the pass, and it's tipped away. Great one-on-one coverage on the outside. That pass was intended for Martino, and it was tipped away by Rolliman Hood.
Yeah, it's a fine little rookie battle to watch out here. You have Rolliman Hood out to the outside with Martino covering, you know, rookies are covering the rookies, vets are covering the vets. This is actually a pretty interesting dynamic to watch.
3rd down at 11. Roby's going to have to get it with his arm here from the 27-yard line. He stands in. Now he has to move in the pocket. Fires over the middle. That's a dart. First down. Beautiful spiral right into the hands of the receiver, Mickey Martino. First down inside the SFL presented by APM Music Red Zone for the first time today.
No, he looks very small, but he's really tough in the middle. We just see it here. 2 defenders sandwiched him. He still held on to the ball after the grab.
That was an amazing throw by Roby. Put it on a dime in the middle of the field, and now San Francisco has a great chance of punching it in here from the 14-yard line. Roby, 7-step drop, looking, fires short over the middle. That pass is off the referee and incomplete as everybody got tangled up there in the middle. And it was intended for Tim Brown Jr.
The much maligned Tim Brown Jr. covered by the linebacker Gary Berthier there. You'd think the receiver would have the upper hand in that one, but not to be.
Now, when the referee gets involved, nobody is safe. I formation, 2 right, single left on 2nd and 10. Roby pressure, gets it away. The ball is fumbled. It was in and out of the hands of the receiver, and who dove on it, I have no idea. We'll see in the replay.
Now I highly doubt this is actually a fumble here. Let's see if he actually has possession of the ball. Might just not be enough time. Well, let's see what's happening.
And it was recovered by New Orleans, and San Francisco's definitely gonna challenge this to see if he had possession here. This would be a coup for New Orleans if they got out without giving up a point.
It honestly would be, but I really doubt this is a fumble in the first place. So just look at it again right here. You know, I don't think he had the ball in his hands long enough. I think he caught it, but he didn't. You know, you have to come down with it to have possession of it.
All right, let's see. Here we go. And the play stands. He had possession. New Orleans takes the ball. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't have to like it. You know, I don't have to agree with it, but the call is what it is. So, field flips.
Cornelius Arthur, the 3rd linebacker on the depth chart, dove on the ball and picked it up for New Orleans as the Pharaohs take it on their own 12-yard line. Gold under center, 3 receivers, right hand off Bonkers, and he's going backwards, and his forward momentum took him back to the line of scrimmage as a whole host of white jerseys were there to bring him down.
That's just not something we've heard a lot today. We haven't heard Bonkers goes backwards. I think for San Francisco, if they want to attempt to come back in this one, that is definitely what they're going to have to try to make us say.
If you're San Francisco, like, what's the mentality on the sideline after this play? Of course, as Bonkers spins and gets about 3 or 4 yards after avoiding first contact. What's the mentality on the San Francisco sideline? In your mind, you've just been robbed of an excellent chance to go out and score some points.
Well, in situations like this, when the momentum is lost and you're already bitter on the sidelines because of all that is happening, you're going to start fighting with each other. You're going to argue about the call. You're going to say, yes, it is. No, it wasn't. Hey, calm down. It's going to get messy.
Let's see if the defense can hold here. That's a beautiful pass by Xander Gold. Slant pattern first down. Another catch by Matt Wolf. He has been all over the place today.
So honestly, if I'm the coach right now, I would just have to try to rally my guys and tell them to calm down out there. They're losing their assignments. They're probably still focused on the play that they lost down there on the field as well as on the sideline.
Gold. Shovel pass, Bonkers, spin move, gets away from a tackle and up the middle. There he goes. He's got breakaway speed, and he's only barely brought down across the 40 as he was chased down out there by Dean Maddox, who's hurt, and you can see the despair on the sideline for the Sharks after that play. A shovel pass? Really?
Well, these are things that this has been seen before by New Orleans, as we see what it was that actually hurt Maddox there. He just took a block and probably landed on his side badly. I don't know what this guy's doing, running all over him and on top of him. You just can't do that. But as for the shovel pass, they've actually attempted it a couple times this season with some minor success, and that right there is a major success.
Donk Bonkers did 90% of the work there. He spun out of a tackle. He got the breakaway speed. He was tripped up by his own man who was out there to make a blocker, else that could have gone all the way. Here's Bonkers again up the middle. He'll get 3 yards before being crunched to the ground by Toby Kaufman.
On a game that several weeks ago I called with the Bond, where it was New Orleans playing Tallahassee, they called that play a total 3 times, and it gained yards every time.
Heavy set here on 2nd and 7. They're going to hand it off to Bonkers, and Bonkers got nowhere. A great solo tackle in the hole that time. Toby Kaufman's made 2 tackles in a row.
Yeah, once again, one of those unheralded guys, part of the defense. been there for a couple seasons. Gets his second tackle of the game in.
Now 3rd and 7, and the Sharks defense looking to chomp down on this drive as Gold stands under center, 4 wide outs. 2 to each side, and Bonkers in the backfield. Gold, 2-step drop, looking far side, got some separation and pushing forward for the first down. Great play, Matt Wolf again.
And this is just what happens when your zone is too soft here. It's just very soft coverage. No one's really looking at Wolf here, and you know, that's just really a mistake. You can't just let Wolf go like that. He's been catching almost every ball out there so far today. You gotta get up in his grill.
That was great strength by Wolf to push past Cameron Hoffman and puts the ball over the line to gain. 1st and 10 for the Pharaohs, and they're going to go to the far side again, and 6 yards on 1st down to the far side. Pushed out of bounds there as Leroy Brown makes a catch.
You know, that play right there is, you know, it's just a levels play. I mean, not a levels play, it's a sticks play. You know, you have one short in, another deeper in, same side to the outs on the others. What you have there, when you get separation like that, should split the field.
Handoff, Bonkers, spin move, 1st down and more as he powers through contact. It took 3 Sharks to bring him down across the 1st down marker inside the red zone to the 15-yard line.
You know, a lot easier way to split the field is just take a donk Bonkers to it. You know, that's always easier. Like here.
Completely bowled over Barry Barkley, who was the spy on the play. And then drug him for about 3 more yards. We've hit the first half 2-minute warning. It's all Pharaohs right now. 14-0, and they're driving for more. This is the SFL, presented by APM Music on YouTube. Stay with us. Quick chat shout-outs. Blue Tigers, Xander Gold, Mighty RX, Keith McDaniel Jr., Alexander Schmidt, David Yanez, Aaron Arrington, and everybody else watching on YouTube. Thank you for spending your Sunday afternoon with us. We appreciate each and every one of you, as it's an offsides call, free play for New Orleans, and here goes Bonkers out of the backfield. He's going Bonkers down towards the goal line. He's going to be stopped at the 1-yard line.
He should have just pushed his arms out and got the ball over the pylons and didn't, but it doesn't matter because they're not only going to decline this one, but, you know, it's 1st and goal. They have another, 4 downs to try it again.
And another mistake by the San Francisco defense, still reeling from the blitz that the New Orleans Pharoahs have come out with on both sides of the ball so far. They're down inside the 1-yard line. Now, the ball is almost lined up over the goal line.
Well, it's an interesting spot for sure.
This is Donk Bonkers territory. 1st down and goal from the inch line. They're going to give it to Bonkers, and Bonkers is going to roll in untouched, put it on the board. Touchdown, New Orleans.
You know, I don't want to say it, but based on how both of these teams are, the first team to 20 might very well win this one. And, well, currently the first team to 21 here is New Orleans. Scoring yet again on a wonderful, wonderful run play there. Absolutely nothing to say about that. It was as easy as you like.
And a reminder, this drive started inside their own 15-yard line after the turnover, the fumble recovered by Cornelius Arthur. As Zen Lee looks to put his 3rd extra point up and through. He does. It's 21-0, New Orleans over San Francisco, 1:52 to go in the first half.
What the Sharks are going to have to do now, they're going to just have to find any type of solace, some points quick, but they have to do it safe. I would like them to go for 7. They might just try to get out of the half with 3.
They might just try and get into halftime any way they can without giving up some more points, as this ball is returned by Manning, who spins out of a tackle and almost spins out of another one. A great return up to the 38-yard line.
It was a very exceptional return up the middle there by Manning, just finding a little gap in the wedge there to break through, make a couple men miss, and go up almost to the 40. at the 38. Great play.
Here comes Rob Roby, 1:46 and 2 timeouts because they lost one to the challenge. To try and get something done here. He's got 2 receivers each side. He's going to hand it off to Ogunzulu, who ducks under a tackle and gets 5 yards on first down off the right side. And there's the Dean Maddox injury report, but we're not going to see it, so...
It was illegible behind the overlay, but
yes,
I'm going to presume he's not going to be back in the game.
Well, until we see number 23 back on the field, we're just going to assume that as well. We're going to see the same 2 wide each side formation on 2nd down and 5, and another run play, and Zulu running backwards, but finally finds a lane, got a first down 6 yards up to the 49-yard line of San Francisco. They're going to go up-tempo here with a minute to go in the half. Roby surveys the defense. He'll take the snaps, 2-step drop, flares it out to Zulu, 1 man to beat, and he can't beat him. Terrific solo tackle on the outside by... who was that? Garrison Dangerfeld. And now Roby looking, goes to Bonkers again, and again Dangerfeld with a huge hit to knock him out of bounds.
You know, it takes a very dedicated tackler to bring Zulu down the way he has twice on this drive, hitting him with the absolute wallop hit him in the chest twice.
Now they say he didn't get out of bounds. San Francisco's going to have to burn their 2nd timeout. So now they got 1 timeout from the New Orleans 46-yard line. This is a 3rd down and 5. Pharaohs rush 3, going to the sticks, and Martino hauls it in, and first down San Francisco, rather, up to the New Orleans 40.
You know, the way that they've been going down the...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
The way they've been going down the field in this drive, it looks like they're going to just try to probably set themselves up for a field goal.
Now they'll need about 6 or 7 more yards to get in Rositarian Sloan's comfortable range. 1st and 10 from the 40, throw it out to Zulu far side. He lowers his shoulder and he'll get 4 yards and then get run out of bounds, stopping the clock with 32 seconds to go. Rositarian Sloan is 14 for 14 on field goals on the season, so they're pretty confident in their kicker.
As they should be. There's not a lot of kickers at this point of the season can say that they kept themselves perfect.
Roby in the shotgun. 2 receivers each side. Defense showing pressure. Here comes the blitz. Roby picks it up, throws downfield. It bounces out of the hand of Martino and flies out of bounds.
It's like he just tried to just grasp it too soon. If we look at it again here, pass was fine, but he just tried to grasp his hands on it a little too soon. He just couldn't hang on to it.
Now 3rd and 6 from the 36, 27 seconds to go. I don't think they're quite in field goal range yet, so if they want to kick it, they're going to have to get some yards on this play. Roby under center. He'll drop back to throw. Pressure coming. He fires over the middle. That pass is caught down inside the 20. They're not going to use their final timeout. Clock rolling down to 17 seconds left as Roby quickly gets back to the line. 13 seconds. They snap it again. Fires out to Zulu near side. He's running, trying to get out of bounds. It'll step out of bounds with 8 seconds to go at the 13-yard line.
Like that little move that Zulu did in the end to make sure that he wasn't down until he was out of bounds. Earlier in this drive, when he was getting hit hard, I mean, he just didn't have the time to like set himself to not be down that way. Now he had time to set himself up. Didn't get down until he reached the sideline and setting it up for this kick.
Here is Rositarian Sloan. It's going to be a 30-yarder for him to try and get San Francisco on the board before the half. It is right down Main Street. Rositarian Sloan is 15 for 15 on the year, and the Sharks have a bright spot going into the half.
It's just automatic when it's Sloan. 15 for 15 on the year is all you really have to say about him. Hasn't missed one yet. Hopes he doesn't.
Now, take me inside the San Francisco locker room at halftime, which is 5 seconds away. This will be the last play. What is the team talk going to be like? What do you think they're going to have to change to come out and be competitive in the second half? Because it's been all New Orleans so far.
Well, you have to get them calmed down first. You have to just rally the men. This isn't the time that you need to shout them down. This isn't the time for that. This isn't the place for it. I think with the way that they've been playing, you need to bring them down, bring them back down to earth, and just set themselves up and just change their mindset to one that can come out in the second half ready to go. Ready and willing to play football.
We'll be back after the break. This is the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube. Stay with us. Welcome back to Lieutenant General Russell L. Honore Stadium in New Orleans, Louisiana. A good evening to you from the Big Easy. We're back for the second half. I'm Michael Truilo, in the booth with me is Levant Mercer. As we get to the start of the second half, we talked about the Sharks at the end of the first. What do the Pharaohs need to do to maintain this lead toward the end of the game?
Well, not only do they need to continue doing what they are known to have been doing, they also have to make sure that they don't give the Sharks any sign of momentum, any just semblance of momentum. Because once the Sharks have any semblance of momentum, they're one of the few teams in this league that it will be hard to wrest that away from them once they gain it back.
The Sharks have definitely garnered a reputation over the past couple of seasons as they win games where chaos ensues. They're the chaos team. They're the team that blocks punts and blocks kicks for the win and has overtime victory. So you don't want to get into a scrap with San Francisco if you're New Orleans, is my takeaway. Is on first down, Roby and Martino just dropped it. I'm sorry, that's not Martino. That's Tim Brown Jr. Just drops it in first down, 2nd and 10. And I agree with you. If you let San Francisco have the momentum, it could easily be, 21-17 or 24-21 here in just like 5 or 6 minutes. And here is 2nd down and 10 from the 31. Roby alone in the backfield. He will pass over the middle. Great strike down the seam. Gabriel Manning makes a catch. First down for San Francisco at the 49-yard line.
And plays like that can start it up for them. Look at this here. Just had all day in the pocket to throw. And Manning saved a low ball there. A little low. But in the end, it was only where he could grab it. And he's just one that will come down with that every time.
That's what great receivers do. They bail out their quarterbacks if they don't place it right on the money. Roby looking, throwing near side. Martino makes the grab, 2 yards and then out of bounds. And if you're New Orleans defense here, you see that seam route work, and it's been working all day for both teams. And do you sacrifice a linebacker to coverage, or do you keep both of them on the potential run game?
But the score is how it is. You might want to give one linebacker away to cover that.
2nd down and 8 from the 49-yard line of New Orleans, just over midfield. And Oregon Zulu slips out of a tackle and breaks away down the left-hand side, and he fights his way to about 3 or 4 purple jerseys, gaining about 5 more yards there up to the 34-yard line of New Orleans.
Well, then here's why you probably wouldn't want to do what I just told you. Because, you know, that could happen. And your lone linebacker there just gets beat on the play by, you know, this mammoth in Ogunzulu. And that could happen, and he gets a first down.
Heath McDaniel was there in position to make the tackle behind the line of scrimmage, and Zulu just said, "Get off me, I'm going downfield." And here he goes again. He got hung up on his own blocker that time. Adrian Gonzalez couldn't get out of his way, and he'll only get 4 yards on first down. He could have been a lot more.
Could have been, and at the same time, this is probably why San Francisco doesn't want to give up on the running game just yet. It's not necessarily time to give up on what has been working if you can make it work again for you.
2 receivers each side, 2nd down and 6. Here's another run for Zulu, and this time he's going absolutely nowhere. New Orleans bought the run blitz, and it paid off in bunches as McDaniel gets a bit of revenge there with the hit.
Not only that, but he just had an open lane to the running back there. Nobody just picked him up.
Now on 3rd and 7. San Francisco goes 4 wide. Roby controls a high snap. He'll throw down the sideline, picked off, and tapping the toes, and staying in bounds is Aaron Arrington. And momentum, pendulum swinging back the other way for the Pharaohs again.
And this is what having a Hall of Famer could do for you. Look at that right there. Just spying the quarterback's eyes, knowing that he threw a duck. And he just caught it just wide open for him. Too easy.
Where is Gabriel Manning on that play? He was about 5 or 6 yards out of bounds. I don't know what was going on there, but another takeaway for New Orleans. They've won the turnover battle so far today as Xander Gold, he's under pressure. A flag comes down. It's a strike across the middle, but it looks like it's going to be holding. We'll bring this one back. That pass was hauled in by Ermac Jackson.
Holding, number 27.
I saw that one pretty much clear as day as Donk Bonkers got beat off the edge in pass protection, and it takes a great catch away from Jackson.
Well, it still doesn't take away from the fact that he's been making his mark on the game so far, and if he continues making plays like that don't come back, San Francisco's they're going to need some help. They're looking for something.
And now, it's a long way to go. A 7-step drop for Gold, forced to step over the pocket of the first sack of the day. We had to wait till the second half to get it, but the Sharks come through. John Osiris knocks the quarterback to the ground.
At that whole play right there was just predicated on beating their assignments. Both tackles on both sides of the ball there just got absolutely beat with the stab there, and there's no hope for the quarterback on that play.
2nd down and 17, and New Orleans will line up in the I formation, and Gold tries to throw it out to the fullback. Second time, Brock Cartwright has been targeted. First time he's made a catch, and he'll get 2 yards, and 3rd down and a mile coming up here.
You know, you see the way Cartwright is set up. He has the neck roll. You know, he has his pads a little higher set. You'd think he's just a blocking fullback. It's very much a hybrid threat.
Third down and 13, 5 wide for Xander Gold to aim at. He'll drop back in the pocket, fire over the middle, almost picked off, and it was dropped by 2 Sharks defenders. Chad Guy had a hand to it, and I couldn't see who got the first stab at it and deflected it. But the drive stalls for New Orleans.
And that right there, once again, this guy being on there in the play and just not being able to make the grab. And had he had been able to, the field position would have been more favorable for San Francisco, but they're still getting it back. So nice play either way.
The punter for New Orleans is Gordon Grasmanis. It is his first punt of the game at 7:28 in the third quarter. San Francisco will get the ball back at their own 37-yard line after the return by Manning.
I'm not sure what the record is for the latest punt in a game, but that definitely has to be up there.
Now, the defense bailed out Roby for the bad pass that led to the interception on the previous drive, but now the Sharks got to do it all again. Down 21-3, 7:25 to go in the third quarter. Still plenty of time left for a comeback. Here's Zulu off the left side. McDaniel slowed him up just enough for the rest of the defense to get there. As Gary Berthier was in on the tackle, as well as Kappa Jones.
Now, when you're able to swarm and converge on the ball carrier like that and keep him from going out to the outside, there's no way a run like that will ever work.
2nd and 8 from the 38-yard line, 4 wide, and Roby changes the play at the line. Saw something he didn't like in the coverage there. Roby in the gun. He'll take the snap. 4-man rush, and he's going to throw short and sell his receiver short, and he's going to lose 3 yards on the pass. Not often we see that. It was hauled in by Matt Burnham, and maybe he was. Maybe you're thinking Roby was just trying to throw that one away.
No, it might have been an attempt to throw it away, but...
Now 3rd and 11 as both teams have faced 3rd and very long in consecutive drives, but this time they convert Mickey Martino to midfield.
This right here is what Martino is known best. Just coming in underneath, relatively unseen, small little slot guy there, but when he gets that opportunity, he's going to get in there in the deep middle of the field and will definitely make any grab that you want him to make.
We have seen Rob Roby put some tight spirals on the ball today. He has an absolute cannon of an arm. 1st and 10 right at midfield for the Sharks, and he's going to drop back, and he's in pressure, and he's going to get the ball out there. Great catch. Wow. A first down all the way to the New Orleans 35-yard line. Gabriel Manning hauls that one in.
Not to try to take away from the play, but if Manning would have just kept himself just inbounds somehow, some way, he had all kinds of daylight. But wonderful presence of mind by Roby to just hang in there, saw pressure in his face, and got the ball in time.
The New Orleans defense threw the kitchen sink at him, and he managed to hang in there, and this time he sold Zulu real short on the check down. He was brought down by Berthier.
If the vertical passing is working more for the Sharks, they might just want to just give up on the whole short play because they keep selling those receivers short, and you can't do that. That's just putting them in positions to go backwards or get decked.
With the team speed that New Orleans has on defense, and they've shown all day, and they've thrown some different defensive looks at him, as you see Roby here again changing the play at the line. Now he's dropped back to pass, fire over the middle again. Martino, another first down to the 24-yard line, 12 yards pickup. And as you said, Levant, it's these seam routes, these go routes, the crossing patterns, they've been working so far for the Sharks today.
Well, when you see a defense that wants to bring exotic packages and do unorthodox things with their defense, you always want to look for the gaps in even those looks, and Roby's starting to find those.
1st and 10 from the 24-yard line. The Sharks going right to left here in this third quarter, going for it all in one-on-one coverage at the 11-yard line. It's hauled in by Manning.
This is just Roby just being absolutely fearless now in the pocket. Now he's saying he has to gain command and control this game back from New Orleans, and he's going to do it with the help of players like Martino and Manny making grabs like that for him.
And this is where the Sharks have struggled now inside the red zone at the 11-yard line, going to the end zone, tipped away. Great play, and it's again Berthier having a monster first game in there to make the stop. Kappa Jones also was in the area and may have got a hand to it as well. Second down coming up from the 11.
So the big problem with plays in the middle like that, when you get to the red zone, the field shrinks, and that's where the bulk of the defense is going to be. They're going to have to just decide to go outside here in the red zone or run the ball.
Handoff, Zulu being chased backwards, slips out of one tackle, then gets a block. He's charging down inside the 5, but he can't get farther than that. Man, he is really trying to put the team on his back here.
These are the situations where you're going to need to try. Being down by this much, you have to come out of here with a red zone score here, preferably a touchdown.
3rd and 4 from the 5. They can get a first down inside the 1, but I don't think they're thinking that. I think Ogunzulu is thinking touchdown. Put it on the board. He's got it. First touchdown of the game for San Francisco, and boy, they needed that.
That they did, and that's definitely the correct dot there by Zulu, just punching it in for 6.
This game is definitely not over as we're going down towards the end of the 3rd quarter. And this kick would make it 10-21 as Bazatarian Sloan is on the field only for the 2nd time today to attempt a field goal or extra point. And that is up and through. 3:17 to go in the 3rd quarter. New Orleans 21, San Francisco Sharks 10. This is the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube. Stay with us. Been a good game so far, Levant, and we've seen that comebacks do happen a lot in this league, and this season especially. Not often if they come all the way back and win, but a team down a bunch can still make a game of it the second half, and that could be what we're about to see here, as, you know, we saw that, hold on, Aaron Arrington, he breaks away from a tackle, has gone down the sideline, 40, 30, 15, 10, 5, put it on the board. Aaron Arrington return touchdown.
Aaron Arrington right here on this play was like, stop, let me do my thing for a moment right here. I hear you talking, but don't worry about it, because I'm going to take this for 6 right here and stop whatever you're planning to say about this comeback. It ain't happening. Look at him just go. Got the spin in the middle there. Pushed right through several defenders. As a defender, that's hard to get through your own defenders, you know, because you're not used to that sort of thing. But when you return kicks like that, and the way he did it there, phenomenal.
How often do you see any defensive player have breakaway speed like that? Aaron Arrington, wow. That's all about it. That's just about all I can say about that. He was held by the ankles at his own 30-yard line, managed to step out of that, broke through another arm tackle about 5 yards later, and then was off to the races. Unbelievable.
Well, that's the sort of thing with the athletes that we have today. You know, in high school, they get recruited as athletes. They were listed as athletes because they played on offense at some point. When you're younger, you probably used to play on offense, used to run the ball. So when you get to the pros like this, you know what to do in those situations. It doesn't often come up because now you're a defensive player, you usually just don't ever have to. But they picked him as a return guy for a reason.
Official yardage on that kick return, 96 yards for a touchdown from Aaron Arrington. And Rob Roby didn't think he'd be back on the field this soon, but he is under center with 2:58 to go in the third, and Ogunzulu bounces off a tackle and gets 4 yards on first down.
Well, they're going to have to keep trying to come back in this game by pushing through, getting big chunks of yardage off of this defense. The problem is, now that they're continuing to go with the running game, they're going to run out of clock soon.
I formation, 2nd down and 6. 2 minutes 30 to go, 3rd quarter. New Orleans up on San Francisco 28-10. A little sidearm throw as a penalty flag comes down. The ball hits the turf after going off the back of a defender. Andre Daniels, the defensive end, was mixed up in it. Oh, they got hit with the ineligible receiver. And I don't think it was even Adrian Gonzalez's fault. He was down the field blocking, and the ball hit him in the back.
I really just don't agree with this call here. Simply because he wasn't trying to be a receiver. He just happened to think that the play was broken up, that somebody must have fumbled the ball, and he just picked up and grabbed it.
2nd down at 11. Handoff. Zulu going backwards. Great penetration for the tackle that time. The New Orleans defense has been all over it, and Heath McDaniel has been all over this San Francisco backfield.
He and Berthier both have been just dynamites. Just been absolutely dynamite down the middle for them so far in this game, being everywhere you need them to be.
It's 3rd and 12. Roby pressured, throwing. He had to throw it short, and he's going to be short of the sticks is Brown. And New Orleans holds, and they're going to get the ball back. And we talked about Gary Berthier. It's his first SFL game, and in a league like this that has a lot of player turnover in the middle of the season, and you're coming into a place, a guy like Obi Okoye, who had a case for being an all-star linebacker last season. Arrington spun out of a double tackle, didn't get past the 3rd one up to the 31-yard line. I've got the edge of my seat every time he touches the ball now. But, you know, the next man up mentality really stands strong in Gary Berthier and every other player that comes in midseason.
And honestly, they've been making big contributions to every team that they've come on. Roby for the Sharks. Last season it was Finch for St. Louis. They make plays regardless of when they come in.
Gold looking, throwing to the sticks, first down and more. There goes Ermac Jackson. He has a touchdown, and then he has another catch there for a first down up towards midfield.
You know, here we just have Ermac Jackson once again just absolutely just burning his coverage here. They're still in those zones. The zones don't shift with him. They stick to their assignments, but they don't stick to the receiver. And sometimes when you're the defense there, you have to just understand, if there's no receivers in my zone, just move to the receiver going through.
From the 49-yard line, handoff, Bonkers slips out of a tackle and gets 2 yards. Let's take a look at the SFL out-of-town scoreboard presented by ScoreStream. If you want to follow the SFL and get up to the second updates on your phone, download the ScoreStream app from the iPhone or Android App Store. Currently, Houston leads Tulsa 17-14. We'll get to the other scores here in a moment after this play. As Gold looks under center. 14 seconds to go, 3rd quarter. Will float it out near side. That pass is hauled in by Wolf. He'll step out of bounds after a gain of 5. And 11 seconds to go in the 3rd. Carolina is currently trailing Chicago 21-10. They have just started the 4th quarter. That is the out-of-town scoreboard presented by ScoreStream. 3rd and 5, Gold, 10-step drop, looking, pressure, jumps, throws, knocked away. Great defensive presence on the outside. Look who's back in the game. No, that's Jake Oliver, not Dean Maddox. I got his number backwards. That's the backup corner out there, as we seem to have lost Dean Maddox for the game.
I guess that leads into the next man up mentality that you've been talking about as we go into the fourth quarter.
Put your fours up, ladies and gentlemen. Pharaohs 28, Sharks 10. It's going to take somewhat of a miracle for San Francisco to come back in this game, but can they do it? This is the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube. Stay with us. Michael Truilo, Levant, Mercer have been enjoying this one along with you from the booth here in New Orleans, and the Pharaohs are going to have to punt here. Gordon Grasmanis is on the field today for the second time. He'll punt from his own 40-yard line.
It's absolutely astounding that's the second time. Just the second time.
It's a beauty. It is down to the 3-yard line. Gorgeous punt coverage by New Orleans. Touchdown by whoops. Garrison Dangerfield. They would not put Donk Bunkers on punt recovery. But the font that New Orleans has on their jerseys, it's the 3 and the 2 is hard to differentiate from. Apologize for that. But now, in the shadow of their own end zone, is San Francisco from the 3. Here goes Zulu. He got a block. He got another block. He should have tackled and got a first down. 12 yards up to the 15-yard line.
Well, when you need to get out of the shadow of your own end zone, you dial this band's number, 2-1. You put that in your phone, and you get 10 yards out of it almost every time. Look at that.
First and 10 up for the Sharks, whose every drive really needs to be a touchdown from now to the end of the game with just under 10 minutes to go if they want to erase this 18-point deficit. Roby on shotgun handoff. Zulu up the middle. He'll get 1 yard as he was tackled that time by Curtis Compton.
I'm going to go back to the point that you were making in the previous quarter about, players coming in the middle of the season. You're seeing players like Blake Craze and Zach Andrews, Pee Wee Rubens, Buchanan Simons, etc. making big plays.
Roby looking to make a big play himself, going down the field, knocked away. Great play. Kappa Jones, one-on-one coverage, knocks the ball out of the hands of Gabriel Manning.
In this game, we have 2 in Rob Roby, who came a couple, probably in the first quarter of the season, replacing Chima. And, Chima was a very good quarterback for several teams while he was here in the league.
Didn't really fit into the San Francisco offense as well as they would have liked. And here's a slant. Gabriel Manning, first down, 15 yards up to the 30. And that's how you're going to have to do it if you're San Francisco. Go back to what's been working today.
That's just basically the rhythm that they're going to have to go with. The up-tempo here is go back to what's been working. You might have to pass the ball more than you have to run, but you know what type of passes works. You got to keep attacking those zones, those little gaps in the zones that you have seen all game, and just pressure that defense.
Roby alone in the backfield in the shotgun with 5 wide receivers. On first down, he's going to take a shot, and behind the defense is Mickey Martino across midfield and up to the 34-yard line.
There you go. It's Mickey Mouse Martino sneaking through again, back out in the back of the defense there. He could have busted through, but he just didn't have the burst he needed.
The pass was a little bit behind where I think Martino wanted it, which allowed Kappa Jones to come up and tackle him from behind, prevent the long touchdown. But this is what you need to do if you're the Sharks. Kind of do a little shock and awe thing. They haven't gone deep much today. They've tried it twice on this drive. It's worked out for them once. And from the 34-yard line of New Orleans, they're going to go back to the conservative style out and get 9 yards on first down to the far side to Manning.
Well, if they're going to start doing that, they're going to have to keep an eye on where Aaron Arrington is on the field. They might be able to target Hood and Jones, but if Arrington's on that side of the field, you might just want to watch out.
And I think you've seen Roby hesitate a little more, go through his reads a little bit. He's looking for where Arrington is on the field, and now he's going to throw over the middle. Caught in the middle of the field inside the 10. Second catch in consecutive fashion for Gabriel Manning. This one puts him into the SFL presented by APM Music Red Zone.
Well, Manning here just doing a great job of just shaking off his initial coverage and just finding an open gap. The seam in defense, they just keep leaking a specific just zone in the defense every play, and it seems like the play calling for the Sharks has found it every time.
Roby's really been hitting that area between the... Oh, never mind. I'll say it again later because touchdown. Put it on the board. Ogunzulu has both of the San Francisco touchdowns today.
And you know, sometimes you just need to put the team on your back, and this is something that he's been doing today. Just puts it on the back and brings him in the end zone.
And now San Francisco down by just 11. 2-score games, 7:50 to go. Definitely not out of reach yet. And what I was saying before is that Roby has really found a sweet spot between the linebackers and the safeties. There's been a little bit of a gap consistently on most plays that the New Orleans defense is running. And now if you're the New Orleans coaching staff and you know that he knows where the soft part of the defense is, do you change it up here in the final 7 minutes?
Honestly, if I was them at this point, and you know that the Sharks thrive on momentum, as defensive coordinator, I would just rather just go back to conventional defensive styles, because at this point in the game, whatever seems to have been working, it no longer does, and you cannot afford a drive on the offensive end to stall out and the Sharks to score again.
Arrington got rocked by Justin Towns on the return up to the 26-yard line, and it's going to be maybe on Donk Bonkers here to burn some clock. With 7:47 to go, a long drive could basically end the threat if you're New Orleans.
I mean, if you score on a drive every time, should be fine.
Gold under center. He'll drop to throw. Play it short to Bonkers, and he sold him short, even though he got a great stiff arm to get away from the first tackle. He couldn't get away from Barkley, and only gained 1 yard. And he got driven out of bounds, so the clock stops.
That just seems to be the theme of the day. Selling receivers short and forcing them into plays they have no choice but to make.
Xander Gold's not had the best second half. He had 246 yards at halftime. He only has 290 yards now in the middle of the fourth quarter. Quietly, the New Orleans offense has kind of stalled here in the second half. The only points they've gotten have been on the Aaron Arrington return for a touchdown as Donk Bonkers goes backwards a yard that time.
You know, one of my phrases is that it's a tale of two halves, and so far it's been a tale of just the quarter, because this has probably been the slowest quarter for New Orleans so far.
Look at the defense for San Francisco. Everybody up on the line except the safeties. Really press coverage, and it worked to perfection as Jabril Peppers knocks the corner pass away.
Well, there's just times where you just know there's only one thing you could do at this point. Now, New Orleans probably could have ran a draw there, elected not to, and now they're punting.
Gordon Grismanis on the field again, a 3-and-out for New Orleans. San Francisco. Rob Roby has shown on the last drive that he's not afraid to go deep and kind of unlock the New Orleans secondary a little bit, and he's going to have decent field position. Fair catch called for by Manning at the 39-yard line.
I really appreciate that call by Manning there to actually go for the fair catch. You don't see that often enough in this league, and sometimes you just got to know. When a game is this close, you can't afford to just muff a punt in the event that you get hit.
First down and 10 from the 39. 6 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the ball game. Sharks down 11, and Ogunzulu is trying to change that as he breaks off a 9-yard run on first down. It took 3 purple jerseys to finally bring him to the turf.
Well, this is going to take a special kind of time management from San Francisco. Running the ball milks the clock, but it seems to be the only thing that's working, so it's going to be interesting to see how they incorporate this.
Second down and 1. As they approach midfield from the 47-yard line, Roby under center, handoff, Zulu driven backwards and taken down. Garrison Dangerfelt, he's been huge today on the defensive end for the Pharaohs.
You know, at this point, I would have been a little more up on it if they would have hurried back onto the line, because they milked a whole minute and 40 off the clock.
3rd down and 2. If you're the Sharks, you do not want your drive to stall out here. You're going to give it to Zulu and trust that he gets you the first down, but he can't do it. Heath McDaniel with a clutch tackle, and it's 4th down.
You know, this is just one of those things that we were talking about off air, where San Francisco just happens to just do something weird every game, it seems, and going 3 straight runs.
And now it's 4th down, and you think you're going to have to go for it here. 5 minutes, 20 to go. Roby looking over the defense. Oh, they got him to jump! It's a free play 1st down anyway. The pass goes over the middle. It is caught by Gunn. He'll get the 1st down. It didn't matter anyway, but if you're New Orleans, oh, that's a terrible mistake.
It definitely is. While the play was made, the key thing here is not to keep your discipline about you. And not only that, penalties stop the clock most times.
And if San Francisco comes back and is a factor in the late game here, we might look to that offsides play as a reason why they were able to get back in the game. Now they've got a 1st down in New Orleans territory at the 45. Roby, 2-step drop, pressure in his face. He had a side on him out there, but in space is the receiver, and he's all the way down to the 22-yard line. I couldn't quite tell who made that catch, but they're going to go up-tempo. 4 minutes, 45 to go, and counting as he was tackled inbounds.
That was Burnham.
Burnham? All right, I'll take your word for it as they're going to go to the sideline here. Martino keeping in bounds, getting a 1st down, and then getting out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Great veteran catch there and run afterwards by Manning.
That right there is just once again a presence of mind to make sure that he's fully out before going down so that the time on the clock can stop.
This is a critical situation here for both teams into the SFL, presented by APM Music Red Zone. With 4:36 to go, San Francisco has a chance here if they can punch it in the end zone, and this punt is incomplete. Roby led Manning too far outside.
This once again is just another play where a quarterback seems to have just sold themselves a little too short there.
2nd down and 10. You've still got time, but you might want to think about putting a pass into the purple paint if you're Rob Roby. 2 receivers left, single right. Roby waits. Now he'll snap the ball, looking, pump fakes. He goes it short to Zulu, try to turn upfield, and he gets a couple of yards and then dumps out of bounds. Hit out there by Compton. PSA for all USFL fans watching tonight, the final game of the night, Queen City and Atlanta. They're going to start in a delay over there at the Hive. Estimated kickoff time is 8:30 Central. That's 9:30 on the East Coast. Just keeping you aware of all the things going on around the SFL. Roby looking, throwing, short of the end zone. Great open field tackle as Martino couldn't turn upfield. And now, Levant, you need 11. Do you kick it here or do you go for it? It looks like they're going to kick it.
I would have went for it, but that doesn't matter.
They're going to have to snap this ball because the clock is running. And it's blocked! Oh, it's blocked! New Orleans blocks the kick, and that might have just iced the ball game. Rositarian Sloan's first blemish on his record all season, and the purple and gold wall taken away.
It just seems like the effort on that play for the Sharks was very lackadaisical. The snap was slow, the ball was low, Sloan took too long to wind up. It's just terrible, but great play by New Orleans there.
Now, here comes Dunk Bunkers trying to milk the clock. He'll get nothing on first down, but all that matters to the hometown team right now is the seconds ticking off of the game clock on the big scoreboard here at General Russell L. Honore Stadium.
And New Orleans has San Francisco mostly to thank for that, because San Francisco milked almost 4 minutes off the clock for them before that block they just committed to get the ball back.
New Orleans from their own 9-yard line, going left to right in the purple and gold. Looking to run out the clock here and run out San Francisco's hopes in this game, and another run for no gain, but the clock continues to run. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedules for both of these teams. For New Orleans, they play versus Dallas next week. That's a huge conference matchup. Thoughts about that game going into next week?
Well, New Orleans is going to have to really look into how their defense was targeted in this game, because Dallas is a potent vertical team.
And 3rd down and 10. Will they just run to burn some more clock, or will they pass here? They're going to run it with Bonkers. Bonkers is not going to get the first down. He's only going to get 4 yards. This will take us to the 2-minute warning, though, for San Francisco. They have a matchup with the Sioux Falls Sparrows, and you're thinking with 4 games to go and you're, 2-5, that's a must-win at Sioux Falls next week.
But that's a very tall order for San Francisco, because trying to play at...
We've gone to the 2-minute warning. This is the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube. Stay with us as San Francisco is going to get the ball back with some decent field position. And Levant, you were talking about Sioux Falls. Continue.
Trying to play away at Sioux Falls in South Dakota is very difficult. Teams tend to not make it out of there alive most times, and honestly, I see it being very rough for the Sharks, because while Sioux Falls has been on again and off again, I think this time, this late in the season, the only switch that Sioux Falls is on right now is on.
As the Manning returns that up to the 40-yard line of New Orleans. First starting position for San Francisco in Pharaoh territory today, but it might just be water on the bridge unless they can get a score in the first couple of plays here. On 1st and 10 from the 40. Black helmets, white jerseys, black pants, and blue trim for the Sharks as they try to fight their way back into this one. That's a first down, but not out of bounds. Oh, no, they did give him the out of bounds to Tim Brown Jr. He was shouldered to the ground there and stops the clock. Key possession, gain of 10 up to the 30-yard line. And talking about next week, New Orleans against Dallas, that could be an absolute shootout. There could be a ton of points in that one if the Pharaohs offense shows up like it did today. And, Sabaz Synergy, probably the premier passer in this league. Roby looking, throwing over the middle, top knocked away! Great defensive play, Tank Bennett with the solo.
We'll just look at this play again here by Bennett, who we haven't mentioned much today, but when we have, it's play like this one, knocking over even the referee on that one. Just absolutely astounding. This was in the receiver's back pocket the whole time and left the receiver on an island there to dry. Let him run into the ref.
Tank Bennett has quietly had a very good game today. Assisted on a couple of tackles, been good from the safety position. As a 2nd down and 10 is what Roby and the Sharks face. Short drop, short throw to the far side, keeping his feet in bounds is Zulu, and he actually did get out of bounds after an 8-yard gain. Stops the clock, 1:37 to go. It's actually Martino that made that catch.
Yeah, but back to the New Orleans and Dallas game. They have to mind how they handle Combs, Osai, and Junior Senior the third, because if they play their coverages how they did in this game, I feel like they're going to get scorched. They need to work on that.
3rd down and 2 from the 21-yard line. Rowe, 7-step drop, fires into the soft zone. Martino first down. Stays in the middle of the field. San Francisco still has all 3 timeouts, but they're going to go up-tempo. Minute 25 to go. Roby snaps with a minute 32. Looking, end zone, knocked away. It was McDaniel there working on Manning, and the defensive player wins that battle again.
Well, they finally have him in a little bit of a hook curl up the middle read up there in the middle there. You just have McDaniel there actually covering that part of the field for once. This time a pass through the middle is incomplete. Good adjustment there by the New Orleans Pharoahs defense.
2nd and 10 from the 14-yard line. They are in the red zone, but they have struggled today. Only 2 rushing touchdowns by Zulu to their name, and Zulu got a pass out of the backfield that goes for 4 yards. The other 2 games on the docket for this week, an Eastern Conference matchup, Queen City at Atlanta. That's tonight at 8:30 Central. And tomorrow night, the game of the week is a rematch of the opening night of the season, Alaska at Mexico City. And there could be some fireworks in that game.
I'm sure Mexico City would like to come out a lot better. They've seen the deficiencies Alaska had against San Francisco last week. So going into that game,
Roby tried to throw over the middle, and Compton knocked it to the ground. Now 4th down and 6 from the 10. It might as well be 4th down and goal, because you've got to get a touchdown here if you want any chance.
And honestly, if you're the Sharks, that's the only outcome that could keep you in. What?
Whoa, they're going to kick. They think they can retrieve the onside kick with 1:12 to go. So Sloan, who had his last kick blocked from about the same area, will come on to try the kick. This time it's up and right down Main Street from 27 yards. Now New Orleans up 8 points. San Francisco is banking on an onside kick plus a 2-point conversion. And that kind of baffles me, but here we go. Sloan lines the ball up at the 30-yard line. Here comes the onside kick. It's right into the teeth of the defense. Oh my goodness, they come down with it. The Sharks have the football. Tommy Gunn.
Tommy Gunn right here shoots through. Notices that the ball just gets muffed by New Orleans there, shoots through and saves the day for the Sharks. Now they have all 3 timeouts. It could go down the field. This is their 2nd return of the season.
Yeah, they had one earlier, and they went on to win that. What did we say earlier, Levant, about the Sharks thrive on chaos? You don't get more chaotic than this. Roby down the middle. Martino first down and more past the 50-yard line. They're going to go up tempo with a minute to go. Remember, they still have all 3 timeouts. Every game we call together this season seems to come down to the final drive. Roby over the middle. Incomplete as that ball bounces around. About 15 yards past the line of scrimmage, knocked away by Dangerfield. And we get a chance to catch our breaths here. You know, because San Francisco is in the same position that Alaska was in, or Vancouver was in at Alaska last week. Opening week of the season at the convention, St. Louis and London were in a similar situation, and there's been some crazy games this year. That one's almost picked off. Oh, the route was jumped by Rolliman Hood, and Burnham is lucky that he was able to knock that ball away.
But that right there is just quick response right there by Burnham, going from offense to defense real quick as he sees, just to get a hand in there, just to make sure that the defense doesn't come up with it.
Where are the timeouts, though? 47 seconds to go. The clock does stop. but they have a 3rd and 10 at the New Orleans 43. They've got to get it in the end zone, which means Roby has to go down the field. None of these out routes are really going to work anymore. Roby, short drop, pump fake, looking over the middle, caught in the soft zone, and there's the first time out. They're down to the 26-yard line.
You know, when it works, you're a genius. When it doesn't, you're a blundering idiot. And right now, the Sharks are proving their coach a genius.
Right in the middle of Aaron Arrington and Kappa Jones. That is some confidence by Roby, going right down the middle of the 2 best players for New Orleans on the defensive side of the ball today. Down to the 26-yard line. They're in striking distance of the purple paint. At the end zone here, Roby looking, throws short to Zulu, trying to get out of bounds. He will. Picks up 2 yards, stops the clock with 38 seconds. If everybody in the chat, I seem to ask for this every week, could get somebody else in here. Either you know somebody in the league, their game finished up, they're just wandering around. Post it in Discord. Get everybody in here for the ending of this game. It's going to be crazy. 38 seconds to go. Roby under center. 2 receivers each side. New Orleans only rushes 3. It's a saw, and Matt Burnham had to play defense again to prevent an interception.
You know, at this point in the game, he just wants to come down with the ball himself. But, like I said earlier in the game, some players have that pedigree to do both, because they have in the past. So there it is again, Burnham's pedigree showing out again.
4 wide, 3rd down and 8. They got to get to the 15-yard line for a first down. Roby in the shotgun, looking, throwing underneath, and he's short. 2nd timeout taken by San Francisco. It's going to be a 4th down and 4 to save the game. And who do you turn to on this play, Levant?
Martino. I would try to get Martino open. He can sneak through.
4 wide. Roby in the gun. They've got to get 4 yards or more to keep the game alive. Roby looking, throwing, incomplete. He threw it the wrong way. He was aiming for Gabriel Manning, who either ran the wrong route or Roby threw it to the wrong route, and the game is over.
No, I just would have to say that Manning just ran the wrong route. He seemed to slip on his foot there, and that's the game.
New Orleans is going to survive a ferocious comeback by San Francisco as they're in the best formation in football, the victory formation. And that is it. They're going to have to kneel it one more time. Reminder, coming up tonight, Queen City at Atlanta, huge Eastern Conference match. And then tomorrow night, Alaska at Mexico City, rematch of the opening game of the season. And we've spoken a little bit about how hungry Mexico City is to potentially come out and beat Atlanta. What do you see later tonight for Queen City at Atlanta? Who wins that one? That's a battle for 2nd place in the Eastern Conference.
I think, honestly, the Queen City continues performing at the level that they have. Atlanta's going to have to watch out, because Queen City can put up an explosive number of points. And I don't think Atlanta has it in them to match it, but hey, they proved me wrong later tonight.
The clock ticks down to 0. The New Orleans Pharoahs keep their season and playoff hopes alive. They are 3-4. The Sharks, they fought hard, but they come up with the loss. They are 2-5. That'll do it from General Russell L. Honore Stadium in the Big Easy. For my partner in crime, Levant Mercer, I have been your play-by-play commentator, Michael Truilo. We will see you next time.